Well, good morning, church.
Good morning, Steve.
I hope you're having a blessed and wonderful, prayerful Easter octave. So here we are, this very famous reading. We get to hear it every year, some version of it. And it really got me to thinking about many different things. A couple of weeks ago, all throughout the internet, matters what social media you follow, but there's quite commonly, they send all these either challenges or these little brain teasers around and people comment on them. This one was about a silhouette of a man that was running and appeared to be like in a tunnel. And it went on to say that if you see the man running towards you, you thought one way, and if you saw the man running away from you, you thought another. The writer also went on to say that this was either the female side of your brain or the male side of your brain. And it got debated like everything does on the internet, kind of silliness, right? I don't know how accurate it was scientifically, but it was a good little diversion. And that made me think about a very famous psychologist in the early 1900s. His last name is Rubin, and he introduced to the public what was called the Rubin's vase. The Rubin's vase is a picture that looks like it's a white vase, just a plain white vase, and on both sides it's black. It's a black and white type of a drawing. But if you look at it one way, you see a vase, and if you look at it the other way, you see the two faces like staring at each other. He used to use this for his clients at the time to look and see how they see things, right? So if you saw the vase, then he would think and theorize it was this one way. And then if you looked and saw the faces, then he believed it was another way that you saw things. He would later go on, this Danish psychologist, to introduce many other of these types of drawings for his clients. One is one that I'm sure many of you probably have seen these, either on some type of article or some type of news or something. One looks kind of like a duck, but if you look at it, it also looks like a rabbit, And one looks like an old woman, or it looks like a young woman. And there's a myriad of these different types of drawings. So after that happened, then they went through a series of discussions, the scientists did, about how we do see and what do we see, right? And all of us that use our sight, we depend on it very much, don't we, for judging the world, and our brain is already pre-wired and wants to come up with a solution really quickly about what we see. We use it from everything from engaging in just walking and our everyday tasks and our duties, and we also use it for all kinds of other things. One, if we think we're in danger or not, all these different cases. But it turns out our vision is not very accurate. That doesn't mean we don't see well. It doesn't mean that at all. But that our brain interprets what we see in a very unique way. So some of the people would only see a duck in that picture, right? And other ones could only see a rabbit. And some people could see both. So that picture really kind of proved to many of the scientists that we all kind of see things in a different way. We all do. Now we come to our gospel reading. And poor Thomas, he always gets scapegoated into being the one who's the real scientific, seeing is believing guy, right? But all of them got to have that chance before. All of them had that experience with Jesus before Thomas did. They all got to see. So we don't know what their reaction would have been. You and I have all different types of reactions to all different types of things in the world, right? One of us can see goodness in people, and sometimes we only become cynical and see badness, right? Sometimes we see things with much more than our eyes, right? We see them not only with our brain, but we see them with our heart as well. I'm very comfortable all through Lent with the crucified Lord. That's what I see, right? I see that. I'm good at anticipating sorrow, being in the pit of it, you know what I mean? being in the darkness. That's easier for me to be able to comprehend. Now, the resurrected Lord, he's on the way out. You'll see that one when you turn around. The risen Christ isn't as easy for me to see. I have to be able to look hard to see the resurrected Lord, right? Pain and misery, those are easy things for me to be able to relate to. We all have been sorrowful. We've all been mournful. We've all had these heartbreak types of situations. But then when it comes to joy, we're not always so good at that, are we? Sometimes we don't want to be happy. I talk about it every Christmas. We put the Christmas tree out, Halloween, right? And we have it all the way up, and the day after Christmas, we throw it out because I guess that's what we do, right? Mm-hmm. We're not that good as Americans in anticipating and then celebrating joy. We're on to the next thing. We're very business-oriented, right? We're on to the next thing. It's been a week now since the risen Christ is, and I started before Mass that little, explanation about our Alleluias because we want to really, stress the fact that we sing it twice, 3 times or more because this is the joy. Seeing Christ in others is really difficult, right? We have to really look. We have to pay attention. We can see the nastiness or the meanness of other people easy. We can see that. But then to see their goodness come through, we have to be in a place where we're ready to see it. We have to be in that anticipation to see joy. The brain is very complex, right? And it always wants to have an orderly system to life. But we all know life is not orderly. We know that it's a complete mess most of the time, isn't it? And the best thing that we can do is to see in this new way. Christ is risen. Alleluia. Let us be able to share in this peace. Jesus says it to his disciples over and over again today, peace be with you. It's such an important phrase in our lexicon, right? That we have to be able to say this at Mass all the time, right? We do the dismissal with that. We do our forgiveness of sins with that. We do, right after the consecration, peace be with you. May I stress to you and to myself that it's all about the risen Christ who has taken away the sins of the world, who has made everything we do possible. Everything that we do as far as a people of hope, a people of light, a people of communion, and a people who can see in a new way. Let us rejoice. Let us be glad. Let us understand that he is truly risen. Alleluia, alleluia.